What should we be doing to keep our kids sane? What should we be doing to keep ourselves sane?
We've actually tried turning on Zoom with a couple of other parents and just putting our kid right in front of us and letting the kids talk.
Parenting can be lonely if you don't have people with children of the same age.
Every now and then I see her sneaking to the door and trying to put on her shoes. So we know she wants to go out. We've got a ton of books and games for her, so she just have to keep her entertained. We usually have to wait till our daughter is asleep before we can finish some of our most important tasks.
It's the same books day in, day out, and she just loses interest within a page or two. She will say, let's go out. He's now working Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So on the days that he is actually at home, of course, I would have a higher expectation of what he brings to the table. And if I catch him dozing off, I would be kind of chewing his head off because, why am I doing the bulk of the work and why are you not, actively trying to help me?
This period really forces you to be always switched on, because when their mood starts to go south, then the whole situation at home becomes really hairy.
M is for
Within that Facebook group itself, we also found friends who have kids of similar age, and we can discuss anything, not just sleep. We discussed sensory play or like child development, even vaccinations. We are bouncing off ideas each other to help keep our kids entertained and also to keep them safe in terms of health as well.
Another parent immediately sent some links on like an indoor obstacle course that parents make with furniture, for their children. It really helps to hear what other parents are going through. There were also concerned parents who were wondering what would happen to them or their child if one of them were to be tested positive or have to be quarantined.
That question came up, and I'm glad it did, because I hadn't thought to ask anyone. Someone else posted an article to say, according to this article, kids in isolation will have a caregiver with them. Yeah, so that kind of raised my anxieties about that.
Beat the story drum, pum pum. Beat the story drum.
It doesn't feel like I have a routine. I end up sleeping late because I record the lessons at night. When Benjamin has gone to bed and it's nearly midnight, then I start doing my lessons.
One of the outcomes is actually she's not sleeping as well as at night. So we also discussed that in the chat groups. Now the days are really long. I think it's tough for the parents, for the adults already.
In this period, in any crisis, there's actually a lot of very subtle stress that's built up, and parents may not be aware of that. Even for adults, we find it harder to fall asleep. We may find ourselves waking up in the night, and I think this is all small pottle of stress that's coming from either the news media or even from just day-to-day conversations, because it's just COVID-19 every day.
For the first week, and I didn't know what she wanted at all. So all I thought about were, I think to her, boring activities that didn't stimulate her that much. So I felt very, very guilty, or rather very ineffective as a parent.
Baba dying.
To be honest, sometimes we just take the easy way out.
when we are both on the computer here in the study room, we just switch on YouTube Kids, and then he sits like there with one of our handphones. Never in my life would I have imagined that I'll be a kind of parent that resorts to having a phone specially for my child to watch his YouTube. But I guess circumstances call for it, so I'm not going to give myself a hard time about that.
Friends, they're very well-meaning, but it's very hard to explain that to those without kids. But those who do have kids, we don't have to say much. We just say a few words and we start laughing because everybody knows what's going on.
Anytime if I run into some problems, I can just, shoot a question there, and I know that there'll be people who actually would answer, and would respond.
Right now, it's just too much news, and a lot of the news is negative. So it's very easy to get bogged down or become very negative. So that group has been more of an emotional support group. We've been calling this social distancing, but I think it might be more accurate to call it physical distancing because we're keeping each other physically apart. But the social part, we can actually keep it. So we've actually tried just a few days ago turning on Zoom with a couple of other parents and just putting our kid right in front of us and letting the kids talk or at least play with each other. And you could see their faces light up.
The Zoom parent circle is in the pipeline. I think a lot of people are looking forward to it, just a gathering of, like-minded parents to have a chat together.
Now I know a lot better, and I can then pass it on to other mums who are struggling in the same way that I did.
Helping others through my experience as a parent gives me that affirmation that if you think you're doing poorly, there's always somebody else who's a step behind that needs to know something that you previously didn't know, but now you know.